Are you doing it? So today's video is about OMAD, 1 meal a day, and digestion. Is it optimal to stuff it all in one giant meal and then fast and rest, or spread out little baby sissy meals throughout the day because you're a sissy? Sissy bitch.
I love your colon, girl, it's my world. I won't ever make a sound.
So let me start off by saying, I know what digestive rock bottom looks like. It looks like a pile of blood. I've pooed rocks so hard that I wondered if they would even forgive me. A couple years ago, I was on a pasta cleanse, and I was eating pasta every day, just regular refined wheat pasta. And I was breaking out like crazy in acne, but my digestion wasn't like freakishly terrible. It was already bloating and farts everywhere, but it wasn't like, oh my god, the wheat gluten's so much worse. Like, it just wasn't bad, and I actually felt stronger. So I was like, I just kept doing it. It was so delicious. The pasta sauce, just a regular tomato sauce, and I had some broccoli in there, and it was just like really fun. So I kept doing it for a while, and then I noticed my mom would eat whole wheat pasta. And I was like, you one-upped me. And it's like, yeah, that's probably the way to do it. The whole grains, whole foods. Shut your mouth, Campbell. Colin Campbell, you're a colon. I'll wrap your colon around your neck. So for 3 days, I had whole wheat pasta instead of the regular refined stuff. And the swelling up of a brick moving through my body, I passed the largest thing I've ever passed in my life. I'm sorry if this is too much information. You're just gonna have to handle it. It was about to come out, and like, you can tell when it's too big. It's like, that's not gonna fit out. That's not gonna come out. There's too much there. Why did you widen? Fiber is supposed to just produce more, not swell up. To spare you the details, I did pass it. It was like Gandalf was at the bridge and he was saying, you shall not pass, but he was defeated and it passed. The poo won. So to me, that's why whole foods are not always better than refined foods. It's just the facts. Some people are not going to do well with whole grains and whole beans and whole nuts. Sometimes it's better to peel these things. Why do you think white rice is so popular? It's like that brown scrapey shit. Not everybody loves that. So that's been my major focus for like 15 years now. Is just improving digestion, getting things to where it doesn't hurt anymore, and just like the ultimate poo is all I want. Just perfect, timely fashion, leave my body once a day. I know when it's gonna happen, it's easy, it just flows out of me. So we're still working on it. But things are okay sometimes. So I've been eating 1 meal a day. It feels like it's been a year, but probably not. But let's just say I've been doing the carnivore 1 meal a day for like 3, almost 4 months now. And I do the 1 meal a day because I love it. I get to eat a giant meal. I'm satiated. I do get a little tired after it. But like, I just lay down, listen to some music, listen to a podcast. Sometimes I fall asleep, sometimes I don't. But then after a couple hours, like, I'm good to go. From like noon, I like to eat at like 9 a.m. now. I'm getting it as early as possible. I do some stuff in the morning, eat my meal 9 to 10 a.m. And then for the rest of the day, pretty much from noon onwards to 10 p.m., I'm good to go. I can make videos, I can go explore the town, I can make music, can do whatever I want to do. My life is back, I have energy, focus. It's amazing. So I love the 1 meal a day. You don't have to plan. My whole life used to be planned around food and what I could eat, because I would eat these fruit meals throughout the day, like 4 to 5 meals. What a nightmare. Like, just trying to plan something, going out with my girlfriend for a nature walk. It's like, okay, I have to carb up, eat this one fruit meal. How long are we gonna go? 4, 5 hours? Okay, we'll blend up a smoothie, a green smoothie, throw a little bit in there. Dates, bananas, got enough calories. And then, okay, what are we gonna do after that? We'll go to dinner. No, I don't like that dinner. That restaurants, they're toxic. Okay, I'll make something. Okay, I gotta soak the beans now before we leave. It's like nightmare. Just shut your mouth. Just shut up. Now it's so easy. I don't even think about food much because I know it's in the fridge. It's like I can steam up my pork chops. Like 20 minutes, steamed pork chops. Take that. I've been having these smoked German pork legs. It's just so delicious, it's stupid. It's way too good. It's like smoked. Tastes like bacon, it's fatty, it's delicious. I'm addicted and I feel good after it. So it's like, well, what the shit? What's the downside? Other than I murdered my best friend, Piggy Thompson. So anyways, back to the one meal thing. It's like, that's a lot of food. That's the biggest complaint I get from people saying that's bad for digestion. You're eating so much. It's such a stress on your digestive tract. Or is it? Or is it? That's what I want to throw to you guys. I don't have all the answers. I'm just giving you some brainstorming topics here. From what I've experienced, yes, it is a lot. I get tired after it. My body just directs like 90% of its energy to the gut. It's like, holy shit, what did he just throw at us? We can't, what are you doing? Go lay down. We'll figure this out. We gotta call some people. So it works on it, and it does. It drains you for an hour or two, sometimes 3. Sometimes I don't even recover that day because I ate way too much. But in general, like, you're down for a couple hours and then you're back up. And then your body has so much time to do other things and absorb it, push it through your body, then go work on your knees, repair your knees from your stupid pistol squats. I'm up to 10 kilos now on those pistol squats. Those are no joke. My knees feel phenomenal though. There's no pain ever. Anybody that says pistol squats are bad for your legs or anything, it's like, you don't even do them. You can't even do them. You're scared of them. They're perfect. I have 0 knee pain. My hips feel good now. No ankle pain, like nothing wrong with me. So think about this. Yes, it's a giant meal. It's much harder to digest that one big meal than it is one of your tiny 5 meals. Yes, my one big meal is harder than your one tiny meal. But is the one big meal harder than your 3 smaller meals that end up being the same size of the big meal? Is spreading it out better? First, it depends what you're eating, because if you're eating a high-fat meal like me, say you're on like a keto diet or a carnivore diet, it's kind of hard you couldn't eat 3 meals a day. Some people are doing it, but it's like meat takes a while to digest, and you're not that hungry to eat 3 meals. I'm not, at least. I'm happy with my 1, and I might get a little hungry at night, but it's more like it would be fun to eat and watch this movie and have a snack. It's never like, oh man, I'm hungry, I'm so low energy. It's like I'm alert, I fall asleep like a baby. That's one thing, we'll get to that later. But it's just benefits all around. Whereas if you're on a high meat diet, just eat the once and then give your body time to deal with that. Whereas if you're on the high carb, one giant meal of carbs, that doesn't sound like a good idea. I've tried it, and here's why I think it's bad. 1, you're giving your body so much sugar at one time, you're gonna freak out a bit. The body doesn't like high blood sugars, and it's just like that one giant spike, and then you'll store some of it and then convert a bunch to fat. It's a lot. And if you're in sugar burning mode, you want a steady source of it throughout the day. That's the torture. That's the prison of a carb burning mechanism. It's like fat can go forever without being hungry. We got all the belly fat we need. So we don't really get as hungry as you carbies. And so the carbies have to eat every couple hours, really, ideally. So you'd probably want the 3 or 4 smaller meals if you're on the carbs. And then it's like constant supply of sugar. But that insulin spike throughout the day, constantly, I don't think it's good for longevity. But if you feel good, just do whatever the hell you want. But the real debate is, what's harder on the body? One giant stressor and then a big break, or a bunch of smaller stressors and not much of a break? Just your sleep is your only break. I think having the big long break is so much better. Don't you? I think so. I like to think so. Think about it though, you have to reawaken that whole system like every few hours. Like it takes a lot of energy to digest. Even if it's not a big meal, still it takes the same amount of energy just for less time. So you're stressing that system over and over again throughout the day. It's like, okay, here's your big task, and it's like, oh shit. I think that's a bad thing. And you don't get much rest. Fasting is the most beneficial thing we know of to heal the body. So you don't get as much time as somebody who eats one meal a day. I just don't see it as beneficial to eat multiple meals a day. Although I will say this, the best digestion I think I ever felt, where things were just flowing like clockwork every morning, was on that medical medium approach. And I was eating very small meals every day, all throughout the day, probably 6 meals. And I was like, oh my God. Like it was actually working pretty well. Although I had so many other symptoms, itchiness and fatigue like crazy, but digestion was like amazing. It's fantastic. So I can see why people do it. It might be easier when eating certain foods, but I don't know. I feel so good in all the other areas of my life that doing the one meal, yeah, it's a little stressful at that time. But then things flow through you eventually. Maybe not on the carnivore path as well. I'd be lying if I said I had this whole digestion thing figured out, because like things aren't amazing. The things that are amazing is there's no gas, there's no bloating, there's not much pain. There's some pain sometimes, but it's like, it's so much less because my body doesn't have to work as hard as often. So I don't feel my colon reacting very much. But when it does, or when I eat something, like I had some pork chops the other day with a bunch of pepper on it, and that hurt going through. I was like, so as of right now, I can't really say with confidence that the carnivore diet is healing to the digestive tract. It's just that I feel so much better not being bloated and gassy, and that's why I feel better, because my colon's less active. That really is, I don't think the meat is healing it like I thought it would with the cholesterol just gliding through. I don't think that's happening, but like all other areas of my life are improving. My mood, my energy, like everything is good. My skin, my hair's thicker. It's like, this couldn't be unhealthy. Like I'm getting better in all areas. It's just my digestion still is a little messed up. It's just I'm very easily constipated no matter what I do. That medical medium thing was working nice for a little bit there, but all other areas of my life were falling apart, and that's not a balance. So if I were to draw conclusions about the one meal a day diet, I would say honestly, if I'm looking back honestly, I think my digestion was better on smaller meals. I will say that. I think it is better. But I feel better in all other areas on the one meal a day. So it's like, it's a trade-off. Do you want to poo nice and then be itchy and tired and want to kill yourself? Or do you want to have a little bit of struggle wondering, am I gonna poo today? What's gonna happen down there? Okay, let's take an enema. And then you take your enema or your salt water flush, or you drink some coffee, you take a little magnesium, you do something to get the bowels flushing, and then all other areas in your life are like, wow, okay, this is doable. So it's like a trade-off, but I do want both. I want all areas of my life to be firing on all cylinders with good digestion. It just doesn't seem to be happening on all levels. So I don't know, we'll keep tweaking, but I removed the magnesium because it gives me acne. I removed the coffee just for an experiment. Some people were saying it flushes out, but only flushes water and then further dehydrates the colon. So I do worry about that. So yeah, we're still working on it. Trying to poo. That's my life goal. And thanks for coming with me on the life goal. If you want to hold hands with me while I do it. You don't want. So what do you think? What's best for digestion? One meal or multiple meals? High fat, high carb, doesn't matter. Meat, plants, raw, cooked. What's best for digestion for you? And what are your tricks? Because I had a saltwater flush today. A tablespoon of salt in a liter of water. It's disgusting. And nothing happened. I was like, you just absorbed that? You just absorb it, huh? Alright, we move on. So I just like to share all sides of what's happening. I'm trying to share the truth here. It's like carnivore diet has a lot of benefits so far, but there is this one negative, constipation. But I've been prone to constipation on every diet, so it's not necessarily the diet. It could be my nervous system. So we did order some adrenal glandular supplements to see if that will help with rebuilding my nervous system, because that's what is responsible for making the colon do that, your nervous system. And if you have a weak nervous system, you don't have the strength to push your poo out. You just hold it. You just do this. So we're done. I think we'll end it on a high note. And consider giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It's unbelievable. Thumbs down if you poo once a winter and you prefer it like that. You let out a mighty screech once a year. Then you cover up your toilet with your decoratives because you know it's not used very often. Thumbs down if that's you. Thank you so much for signing up to the Patreon for the monthly Q&A and buying a Vegetable Police t-shirt and the music. Consultations. I could consult. I could be helpful. Okay, we're done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.